Hi everyone, Sean here with Analog Digital. In this video, I will be taking you into a close look at the Moog Sub-Phatty. I will also walk you through the different components of the synthesizer, giving you a good analysis of the Sub-Phatty. Over here with all our connections, we have our on-off switch. Next to that we have our power connection. And we have our external in, and below that we have our audio out. And the next section is our input section for our control voltages. We have pitch CV, and below that we have filter CV, volume CV, and keyboard gate. And we also have MIDI out, MIDI in, and our USB connection in our digital connection section. Here we have our Moog Sub-Phatty, and it has a 25 key keyboard with 31 knobs on the front panel here. The synthesizer has 9 sections that I will take you through. We're going to start over on the preset panel. Here we have 2 columns of buttons. On the left hand we have the banks, each with their own 4 presets, letting you save up to 16 different sounds. These 8 buttons also allows access to the under the hood features, and this activate panel button lets you hear the panel settings rather than the saved preset that you have selected. Here we also have a pitch wheel and our modulation wheel. Next we'll move on to our pitch panel. We have a MIDI LED that tracks all incoming MIDI data, and below that we have our fine-tune knob in case we're playing with another instrument. We can keep both oscillators in the same tune. And here's our glide time, so we can adjust the glide amount. We also here have an octave selector. We can transpose the keyboard of the Sub-Phatty up or down a maximum of 2 octaves, which is pretty nice. But now we're going to move on to the modulation panel. Here is the mod wheel location once again, and the first knob I'm going to turn is the LFO rate. And here we have the source knob, and you have 6 different sources you can select from. You have a triangle, a square, a saw, reverse saw, kind of like a random control pattern, and a filter EG. And the filter EG bypasses the LFO and routes the filter's envelope to the modulation destinations here in the modulation section. Here we have our pitch knob that controls the depth of the pitch variation. Here's the pitch amount to oscillator 2 only, and it applies the pitch mod to oscillator 2 only. Now I'm going to turn a couple of these knobs so you can hear what they do. Down here we have the filter amount, which controls the depth of variation applied to the filters of the cutoff frequency. And the wave amount knob controls the variation applied to the waveform of both audio oscillators. As you can see, you can use it to add a little bit of grit. And moving on to our oscillator section, you can see we have 2 oscillators. These both having the same amount of octaves, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Here with the frequency knob you can get kind of a dissonant sound. With the hard sync button, it locks oscillators 2 phase to oscillators 1, eliminating any difference between the 2. Now I'm going to play a little bit for you. Both oscillators have the same option of 4 different wave shapes, which would be triangle, saw, square, and pulse. The Sub-Phatty is actually really unique because of these knobs. You can actually have the ability to generate something in between each of these wave shapes, almost creating your kind of own. Alright, moving on next, we have our mixer section right here. Just gonna turn all these knobs down and then let you hear it one by one. We introduced that nice sub oscillator right there. And turning these knobs past 6, you're actually overdriving the filter and adding distortion to the sound. I'm going to turn all this down and let you listen to the noise generator that they have on the Sub-Phatty. That's nice. Now we move on to the filter section. We see this very big filter knob. Resonance. Here is the multi-drive, which adds some aggressive sound to your tone. See, we can get a nice distortion there. Here's the EG amount that controls the depth of the envelope generator on the filter. Here's our KB amount, which is how the filter tracks the keyboard. As you can see, when we play in the higher keys, the filter opens up. And now we have our envelope section over here to our right. And we have our attack, sustain, decay, and release. And what I'll do, I'll give a little background on all of these. The attack is the time it takes to reach the maximum level. The decay is the time from maximum level to reach sustain. The sustain, this remains until the envelope reaches the note off command. The EG amount determines the depth of this. And finally, you have the release, which is the time it takes to descend from the sustain value. And here's the amplifier section with a couple of these knobs. I think Moog has done a great job with the Sub-Phatty, and we have such a great sound and such a small synthesizer. But this has been Sean with Analog Digital, and thank you for watching.